20 years ago, when my wife and I started cruising together, cruising was a small, niche-style vacation that was designed to be a week full of fine dining, exotic destinations, and full-scale relaxation and pampering. Today, cruise vacationing has exploded into a multi-billion-dollar business offering something for everyone, and with that explosion has also come many changes to cruising and cruise line policies that many old-school cruisers just don't like. In some cases, they're being called controversial. Today, I'm going to look at 5 of these controversial cruise line policies and see if they're good or bad for cruising. Hi everyone, I'm Jamie from Sharonatsea Travel. Thanks for joining me today. And if it's your first time here and you enjoy the content, please check out the rest of the videos on the channel and consider subscribing if you like what you see. And no, I'm not talking about liking me, what you see. I'm talking about the videos. So when I say controversial cruise line policies, I'm talking about things that get people into a bit of an uproar or that incite a conversation that has passionate arguments for each side. Feel free to share your thoughts and opinions in the comments section below the video about any of the topics that I cover today. The first thing that always drums up a little controversy when it's brought up is cruise line dress codes. Over the years, the formality of cruise line attire has kind of dwindled. Now, this can be seen at any time of day on a cruise ship, but it's mostly noticed during dinner time. The days of getting dressed up every night for dinner are long gone. For years, cruise lines have been easing the dining room dress codes to just a couple of formal nights per cruise, and nowadays they're doing away with it altogether. Norwegian Cruise Line has stopped having set dining times in their main dining room, and every day is now casual freestyle dining where you can dress as you like with minimal restrictions. Royal Caribbean Cruise Line still has a dress your best night where some people will don their suits, ties, and cocktail dresses, but on our last cruise, the dressed up folks were few and far between, and on Carnival, they still offer 2 formal or elegant nights on a 7-day cruise, but that doesn't mean the table next to yours might still be in jeans, t-shirts, and ball caps on those nights. Recently, Carnival's brand ambassador John Heald was asking his followers about dining room dress codes, so don't be surprised if you see a reduction to Carnival's dress-up nights as well in the future. Bottom line is that the mainstream cruise lines are no longer enforcing any real dress codes as they have done in the past, and although the new wave of cruisers seems to like the casual dining atmosphere, the old school cruiser is not a fan. Now, the next controversial topic is cruise line drink packages. And I'm going to say this is controversial for a few reasons. First, there's been an increase in alcohol-related incidents on cruise ships, and they've been spread between the 3 main cruise lines, although one particular cruise line seems to get the brunt of the blame on this one. Many people say drink packages are encouraging overconsumption of alcohol. In some cases, it's like a contest to see who can drink the most drinks. Carnival's drink package cuts you off after 15 alcohol-based drinks in a day, so it's like a badge of honor to reach that 15 drink mark. Other cruise lines offer unlimited drinks, and people focus on getting the most bang for their buck because the more you drink, the better value you get for that drink package you had to purchase. Now, the cruise lines are smart, and they have a rule that every drinking age adult in the cabin has to purchase the package to avoid sharing drinks and cutting into the cruise line's profit. Now, this policy alone makes people drink more just to break even on what they pay for their drinks. Every cruise line has some sort of alcohol-based drink package that is either included in the cruise price or cost separate. Another thing that cruisers hate is that each package can be very different. They have drink limits and there can be differences on what's included. For example, Norwegian Cruise Line has a great free at sea program with drinks included, but it doesn't include bottled water. Other packages limit the value per drink, like Royal Caribbean only covers drinks costing up to $14. So anything over that, like maybe a fine wine or a high-end spirit, you'll have to cover the difference in the cost. Carnival has that 15 drink limit, but covers drinks valued up to $20, so they all have their pluses and minuses. And don't get me started on the prices of the drinks on the cruise ships. The drinks are overpriced on these cruises. So at the end of the day, many people say these drink packages encourage overdrinking and bad behavior, not to mention the cost in some cases can be crazy high. You can expect to pay anywhere from $59.95 per person per day, all the way up to $100 per person per day, based on the cruise line and where you're traveling. What happened to the good old days where you sat down at the bar, ordered a reasonably priced drink, and then you paid for it? Next up is a controversy that you may not know much about, but for avid cruisers, it's one of the biggest annoyances. Now, this one might surprise you a little bit. Are you sitting down? All right, here it is, straws. That's right, straws. A few years back, many of the cruise lines decided to make the switch from plastic straws to paper ones, and in some cases, there's even candy straws now. Now listen, don't get me wrong. I'm all for the environment. I get it. Straws are bad for the oceans. I've seen the videos with the sea turtles, and it breaks my heart. It also breaks my heart when I see someone sipping a frozen strawberry margarita and the paper straw gives out and the drink is spilled all over their embarkation day outfit. I can't tell you how many complaints I've heard from people about the new straws and how they fail halfway through the drink. And it doesn't just have to be alcohol-based drinks either. Many people now just bring their own plastic straws to use on board the cruise ship. Can't we figure out a way to properly dispose of the good old plastic straws on the cruise ship so the guests can be happy and the sea turtles can be safe? I mean, they could practically turn old toilet water into fresh drinking water on those cruise ships. Can't we find a way to separate out the straws? Okay, I know that was more like a rant, and I apologize for that, but it's a little bit of a controversial topic. And don't get Sharon started on it. How about this controversial topic? Automatic gratuities. This is a practice that's been in place for 20 years, yet it still rubs many people the wrong way. Most cruise lines will charge each cruiser in your cabin over the age of 2 a daily gratuity charge. That's right, tips. Depending on the cruise line and the destination, this amount can be anywhere from $16 to $24 per person per day. The money collected is then distributed to the members of the service staff, like the housekeeping and dining teams, bar staff, and other hospitality support staff behind the scenes. Although these amounts will be automatically charged to your onboard account, they can be adjusted, increased, or even removed. Now, I have always found the cruising community to be pretty generous, and it's rare to hear of someone removing the tips altogether, but there are still a good number of cruisers that prefer to tip the crew directly based on the quality of service they receive, and those people may remove the automatic tips in order to hand out gratuities during or at the end of the cruise. The argument is that once tips are automatically included, there's no longer motivation to give great service. I know it's really a personal preference, but that's what makes this so controversial. People don't like to be told who to tip or how much to tip, but as seasoned cruisers ourselves, and after seeing how hard the crew works over our past 20 years of cruising, we don't really have an issue with the auto gratuities, and quite often, we'll tip a little bit extra at the end of the cruise to those crew members that really went out of their way to make our vacation special, and we always recommend that you do the same. While we are blowing through these topics, now our fifth controversial topic is paying for room service. There was a time when all food was included in your cruise fare. Then cruise lines started adding specialty dining and alternative venues that offered more intimate dining experiences for an extra charge. Room service was the same way. When we started cruising, anything you ordered from room service was included. Now sure, the menu was still limited compared to what the rest of the ship offered, but cold items, hot items, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you could eat every meal in your cabin if you wanted and never pay extra, besides maybe a couple of dollar tip when it got delivered. This is another cruise tradition that's gone by the wayside, and many avid cruisers don't like it. Nowadays on many cruise lines, the only complimentary room service item is a continental breakfast, which includes coffee, juice, pastries, and Danish. After that, there's a charge either per item or per the delivery of the items. We've heard a few funny stories of families cruising and kids in the room that ordered a bunch of food to the cabin thinking it was included. I bet that was an unexpected charge on their account at the end of the cruise. Now granted, not all cruise lines charge for room service, but the big three do. And sure, the charges for room service aren't that much, but cruising is billed as an all-inclusive experience, and many people don't like the fact that they have to pay to eat a meal in their cruise cabin while the same meal might be offered somewhere else on the ship for no additional charge. Now, whether you just want to eat in your cruise cabin in your jammies, maybe have a romantic meal on your balcony listening to the ocean, or the kids are just taking a well-deserved nap and you just need the afternoon snack to hold you over, but you can't leave the room, room service charges are an unwelcome addition to any in-cabin meal. Well, there you go. That's 5 controversial cruise line policies that have been implemented or changed over the years that in many cases really rub cruisers the wrong way. Looks like our time here is done for the day. You know what though? Hold on. I think we do have time for maybe one more controversial topic. And if you'll forgive me, this is a controversial cruise topic that just drives me crazy. Just between us, they say that by this time in a video, most people have stopped watching. So since it's just you and I now, I feel like I could share this with you guys. I can't stand, no wait, I'm being too nice. I hate these dang cruising ducks. You know, the ducks people are leaving all over the cruise ships and hiding places. People buy like 50 ducks at home and bring them on the cruise to hide them so the kids can find them. Every time I turn around, I'm tripping over a duck. They're everywhere on the cruise ships. People are even putting their business cards on them to get around the no solicitation policies of the cruise lines. Listen, I don't need some kid to bump into me while they're lunging for a duck that's promoting Bob's vacuum repair services in Topeka, Kansas. Just leave the ducks at home. You want to do something nice for people? Hide a dollar bill. That way everybody can play in your little game and people don't need an extra carry-on bag to bring home all the ducks they found on their cruise. I am really sorry for that outburst, but I feel a lot better, so thanks a lot for listening. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and check out our other cruise content on the channel. blogs, tips, reviews, we've got it all. Also, if you want a trained, experienced cruise professional to help book your next cruise, and no, I'm not talking about me, contact my awesome wife, Sharon, by emailing her at sharonatsea@gmail.com today to start planning your next cruise vacation. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.